But there's more. There's more than one way to solve this problem. We're continuing working to bring down food prices and gas prices and save families' money by dealing with other items. I have to admit to you, a lot of us elected officials have been in office for a while. Every once in a while, something you learn makes you viscerally angry. Like if you had the person in front of you, you'd want to pop them. No, I really mean it.
Yes, pretty soon.
I was raised in a household when the price of gasoline rose precipitously. It was the discussion at the table. It made a difference when food prices went up. But we've never seen anything like Putin's tax on both food and gas.
Does the White House see any relief in these numbers for Americans in the near future? And if so, when?
So, look, the president very much understands, and we very much understand, that we've got uncomfortably high inflation. What we saw in the data this month was that month on month, prices increased overall. The headline CPI increased about 1%, and about half of that was due to food and energy, which can be almost directly tied to Putin's invasion of Ukraine. And so,
but it's not just that, you know. It's not. Prices are rising. I get it. I get the world oil markets are up, but as you know, prices are rising for everything: used cars, rent.
Absolutely, and so the president understands that, and so he has emphasized, he's focused on this, you know, as part of his plan. I know this doesn't sound like a plan, but first and foremost, he respects the independence of the Federal Reserve.
Millions of Americans are moving up to better jobs and better pay. And since I took office, families are carrying less debt on average in America. They have more savings than they've had.
We have to take steps to detoxify our discourse, particularly the scourge of disinformation and conspiracy theories and hate online that has polluted our political discourse.
Because of the progress, America can tackle inflation from a position of strength unlike any other country in the world, because every country in the world is getting a big bite and piece of this inflation, worse than we are in the vast majority of countries around the world. Today's inflation report confirmed what Americans already know. Putin's price hike is hitting America hard. Gas prices at the pump, energy and food prices account for half of the monthly price increases since May. Inflation outside of energy and food, what the economists call core inflation, moderated the last 2 months. Not enough, but it moderated. It's come down. And I'm grateful to two Californians, Speaker Pelosi and John Gerardi, for leading this effort. Thanks, John. I really mean it. Because I've followed some difficult acts in the past.
No fossil
I followed some difficult acts. Never before have I followed such a difficult act as I've seen the last 45 minutes up here. It's my honor to host my fellow leaders from throughout our hemisphere for the 9th Summit of the Americas at a moment when we need. And we're doing it all while cutting the federal deficit by $1.7 trillion this year and $320 billion last. If I hear one of my MAGA friends once again talk about debt and deficits, I'm going to be good. They increased the deficit by $2 trillion. Anyway, that's another story.
Well, all of that spending came under the Trump administration, but he said it specifically, we are cutting the deficit. That's not true. Those programs are ending. If anything, they've made inflation worse by proposing more spending.
But this is the MAGA gang. This is the MAGA crowd. I really mean it. They have a fundamentally different view of the role of government and who should pay what. And by the way, nothing's changed. And they're not, by the way, one thing I want to say about the oil companies. They talk about how they have 9,000 permits to drill. They're not drilling. Why aren't they drilling? Because they make more money not producing more oil. The price goes up, number one. And number two, the reason they're not drilling is they're buying back their own stock, which should be taxed, quite frankly, buying back their own stock and making no new investments. So I always thought Republicans are for investment.
Mr. Senator, what do you make of the president's statement that these oil companies have 9,000, whatever it is, sites that they're not drilling? What do you make of that?
For 17 months, Joe Biden has attacked pipelines, has not allowed permits to drill, and just last week, Stuart, in Wyoming, his administration froze another 2,000 of those drilling permits. You can't get the leases. They've canceled thousands more leases across the Rocky Mountain West just last week. I've said for a long time that Democrats have won high gas prices because their liberal policies are to try to force people into electric cars.
Potentially lowering high-speed internet bills on average for average family, $30 a month. Okay, well, you're paying extra more than $30 a month for your gas, but that still increases the money out of pocket, decrease the amount you have to put out. The point is, we're doing everything in our power